Hello, everybody, and welcome to the David Trig Show. How are you guys in this beautiful evening, Saturday night, black and white? This is the pre-show. We got about 29 seconds or so before we start the show. Invite your friends, invite your followers on YouTube, Periscope, on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you're watching this. We're going to go full color in about 15 seconds or so, giving you a chance to invite your friends, talking about the 3 levels of waiting on God. Just did an awesome study here with the family, and I want to share some of these things with you. So in just about 5 seconds, we're going to go live. I invite you to share this with your friends. Let everybody know. Invite your family to come and watch GOZOtv. So here we go. So again, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the David Trig Show on GOZOtv. Gozo for the whole family. Let me actually start the recording here on this other place where I also record things. By the way, if you want the audio version of this same show, just the audio, not the video, not the full thing, if you just want the audio so you can listen to it throughout the week, you can simply go to lifeofgozo.com/podcast, lifeofgozo.com/podcast, and you can then download right there the audio only version of this same content. So talking today about a very, very awesome topic. I hope you're doing well, by the way. I'm doing great. Getting ready for tomorrow is the best day of my life. Every Sunday I feel, oh man, got my Gozo bell. Just so thankful for the ability to just simply have a place to go and worship and be with my friends and people that need to know more about God. But tomorrow, I'm talking about something else, but I was doing a study tonight just for my own heart and for my family, little house church that we do on Saturday nights, talking about the levels of waiting on God. And so I want to take you to a passage that's very, very awesome out of actually Psalm 46. So let me just go really quick here on my screen, and I'll bring you the text here on the screen in a few seconds. Let me just do a few things. Welcome, by the way. Nice to have you guys wherever you're watching me. Bienvenidos. How are you? Buenas tardes. Buenas noches. Thank you for being here. Make sure that you invite your friends, invite your followers. Let them know that GOZOtv is on the air. How about that? On this awesome, awesome evening. So let me just do a few things here on the technical side of things so you can then follow along with me. This beautiful passage that is very, very amazing. A lot of people love it, but I think it needs to be always talked about, especially the idea of waiting on God. Waiting is such a difficult thing, right, for most of us. Let me just type a few things here, and then we'll get right to the show. I'm talking a little fast only because I want to get to the content here as soon as possible so that we can all enjoy this beautiful, beautiful evening together. Let me just do one more thing. Thank you guys for waiting. Make sure that you invite your friends while I'm doing some of this behind the scenes stuff. Invite your friends, your followers. Share this on YouTube, on Periscope, on Facebook, wherever you're watching this. Thank you guys. By the way, did you guys see the short film that I did for Daisy the dog? It's called When Dawn, what did I call it? Until Dawn Comes Again. Man, it was so awesome. Over 250 views already in just a day or so, 24 hours. So excited. I hope that you've seen it. If you haven't seen it yet, please go to my page so you can see it right there, both on this page, David Trigueros Live, as well as just my regular personal page. So, by the way, I want to remind you that every day, Monday through Friday, I do a call-in show where you can call in at the number on the screen here, 1-855-741-8376, so that you can ask me any questions regarding the 3 areas that I talk about the most, especially the area of how to make money based on your gifts and your talents. Number 2, how do you use social media to increase your reach, whatever your business, your career, your talent is, how to use social media to increase your reach. And then 3rd, the area that I think a lot of people don't talk about, and that's how to overcome issues of self-esteem, of low self-esteem, of fear, anxiety, depression, how to overcome those things so that you can succeed at life. So those are the things that I talk about, and I want to just briefly tell you more about that here in a second. But let me just see if I can do a couple things here. I'm going to go to the screen right there. So just give me a second till I fix some of these things here, and then I will show you the screen, and we will be together. So there it is. I think you can see it a little bit. So that's the passage I want to go over, okay? Talking about, as I said, how to trust God, especially the levels of waiting on God. So check out this passage. I know it's kind of small, but maybe you can see it just barely, huh? Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger for you. Let me see if I can do that. Let me see here. Just give me a second to make this a little bit bigger here so you guys can follow along and maybe see this a little bit clearer. Okay, there it is. Just a little bit more, a little bit clearer, right? So, okay, so in verse down here, this is a great passage. Isaiah 40 is one of the most popular passages in all of the Bible, and here is why. Look at down here way down all the way to the end of this passage. Talks about how we complain, how we sometimes say, "Where are you, God?" Have you ever felt that way, right? And you say, "Yes, me too," right? A lot of times we say, "Man, where are you, God? Don't you care?" Have you ever said that to God or to people that are supposed to believe in God? Have you ever said to them, "Where is God? I don't see him. I don't feel him. I don't think he cares about my marriage, about my financial problems. My kids are a mess. My housing situation isn't right. Don't you care, God?" Right? We all say that. And even this passage here says the same exact thing. So look at here, verse 20, let's see, 27 right here. If you can maybe see it there, let me go all the way to the top. 27. "Why do you say, O Jacob, and assert, O Israel?" So who are Jacob and Israel? It's the same person, but it's really not talking about a person. It's talking about the people of God. So basically what he's saying there is God is saying, or the prophet Isaiah is saying, don't you care, God? Don't you care that we are perishing? So it says right here, "Why do you say my way is hidden from God, and the justice due me escapes the notice of God?" Basically, it's saying, don't you care, God? Don't you notice? Are you blind or something? Have you ever told God, maybe you don't want to say this out loud, but have you ever told God, "Don't you care, God? Are you blind or something?" You ever tell your friends that when you call them? Maybe you text them, you WhatsApp them, whatever, and they don't respond back. What do you say to them? "Are you blind? Are you deaf? Didn't you see the text?" Right? "I needed you. Where were you?" It's the same thing that's happening here. Isaiah is telling God, do you not care? Do you not hear me? Like, do you not comprendo? Right? Same thing. Verse 28. "Do you not know? Have you not heard?" So all of this stuff is people just being honest, saying, don't you care? You ever feel that way? That God doesn't notice your condition, or that he waits way too long? I mean, everyone feels that way. Like, "God, I know you're there, but I need help right now." Like January, like I needed help last month and I'm still waiting, right? You ever feel that way? That's my GOZOtv, by the way. You ever feel like God just never shows up on time? Like you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. That's exactly what's going on there in that passage. That's the prophet there is saying, "Where are you, God?" Right? And then look at verse 27. "Do you not know? Have you not heard?" 28. Here it is. So now Isaiah says, wait, you are the one that's deaf. Isn't that awesome? Isaiah says, it's not me that's deaf. You're the one that's deaf. Have you not heard? Isn't it funny? It's the same exact words, right? He's saying, no, I'm not deaf. You're deaf. You don't know what? That the everlasting God, the Lord Creator, he does not become weary or tired. So in other words, he's saying, you think that God is blind. Maybe he's tired. Maybe he's deaf. Maybe he doesn't care, right? When you text a friend and they don't answer, what do you think? Oh man, he's sleeping, or she's probably tired, or ignoring me, right? It's the same thing that we think about God. But then what does the prophet say? God is not asleep. God is not deaf. God is not tired. That's not why he's not answering your phone call, because he's sleeping. He's the everlasting God. He's the creator of the universe. If he created the universe, you think he's tired helping you? You think he's exhausted and that's why he can't help you? You think that's why he's not answering your texts? No. In fact, he says right here, his understanding is inscrutable. It means that his understanding is so much bigger than our understanding. And then what does he do? He gives strength to the weary. And to him who lacks might, he increases his power. And then it says, though youths grow tired and weary, and vigorous young men stumble badly, yet those who wait on the Lord, this is the passage that everyone knows, those who wait on God will gain new strength. They will mount up with wings as eagles. They will run, they will walk. Okay, so those are the three levels right there. The three levels of waiting on God. First is you walk. Have you ever seen a baby? What do they do when they're maybe, 9 months old? They're like, I can walk, I can walk. No, you can't. Flop, right? They can't walk. They can hardly crawl. I mean, we have 3 children, and I think they all sort of crawled, but I think they just fell a lot, right? I remember David when he was, 9, 10 months old. He had this big old green bump on his head for like months because he just kept falling on his head. No wonder, right? Maybe your kids did the same thing. That's how we all start. We all start by just barely walking. That's the first level of waiting. Have you ever felt like you're barely waiting on God? Well, God wants to take you to the next level. What's the next level? Those that run. It says those that walk, they become weary, or they don't become weary. Those that run will not get tired. There's the next level of waiting. Sometimes you have to run. That's the next level. Same with a baby, right? What happens? What's the saying? Before you walk, you have to crawl. Before you can run, you have to walk, right? It's the same thing with your faith. Same thing with you waiting on God. You have to endure. You have to persevere. You can't just give up. Maybe you're right now at a place where you've been walking for a long time. I remember my dad, you remember this, right? My dad used to walk miles every day. I love walking. I love running, actually. I don't really like walking. I walk now because of my stupid knee, but I love running. 10Ks. My wife did a marathon. I do 5Ks. I do 5Ks for lunch. But sometimes you just have to walk because you're so weary and you're tired of waiting on God. It's okay. But what God wants you to do is to lift you up to that next level, which is running. And then what's the third level? Flying. Look at what it says. Those that wait on the Lord, they will mount up with wings like what? An eagle. Where does the eagle live? In the air. It flies. Those are the three levels. You first walk, then you run, and then you fly. God wants you to go to the next level. He's going to lift you up. Maybe you're at a place right now where you're just barely hanging on. God wants to help you walk. Like that baby, he wants to pick you up. Maybe you're at a place where you've been walking for a long time. Maybe soon, maybe next month, maybe next year, God will bring you to that next level. You're going to start running. What does that mean in your business, in your personal life, in your love life? Now, what you need to do is to wait, but he will lift you to that next level. Psalm 40, I love it what it says. I waited patiently for the Lord. Let's go to that passage. Another very similar passage, very related to this one. Let me look it up here really quick. Psalm 40, very similar. Look at what it says. Same exact metaphor, the idea of him lifting, picking you up, putting you up higher. Same thing, 3 levels. Look at Psalm 40. Let me just see it really quick if you can see it. Psalm 40. Let me just take you really quick. Can you see that? Psalm 40? Let me see. Did it change it? I don't think so, huh? I don't know why. Psalm 40. There it is. Boom. Okay, Psalm 40. Look at what it says. I waited patiently for the Lord. He inclined to me and heard my cry. Look at the same thing. Waiting, right? Waiting. You have to wait on God. You have to wait on God. That's the thing. Who loves to wait? Nobody. Now, when you think of waiting, let me ask you a question. What do you think of? Like when I think of waiting, I think of I can't stand it. Now, Rochelle, I asked her the same question. She's like, I don't know if she loves waiting, but for her, it's about trusting. For me, I'm not that way. I'm impatient. I don't have the gift of patience. I don't have that gift. I am impatient as they come. Are you the same way? Are you more patient or impatient? You have to know that about yourself. For me, waiting is a waste of time. You know what I'm talking about? I can't stand waiting. I remember when I was a little boy, I used to wait for the bus. Man, I hated that. Waiting for the bus. Some people can't stand waiting in line, waiting in traffic, waiting at the DMV, waiting in school, waiting in line to get your hot dog or your sandwich or a burrito or whatever you eat, waiting for your coffee in the morning, waiting. I can't stand it. Other people, like Rochelle, she's like, for me, that's like trusting God. And that's the way you want to be. She's doing it right. And that's what Psalm 40 says. I waited patiently for the Lord. See, that's a whole different kind of waiting. Which one are you? And then what happens when you wait? Same thing. Look at this. He inclines to me. And then what does he do? He brings me up. See, the same thing. Flying up, out of the pit, out of the miry clay. See, you're somewhere low. You're in the walking or in the running. God wants you to fly. God wants you to fly in his presence. God wants you to fly in your life, in your relationships, in your marriage. What you have to do is to cling to God. What do people do though instead? They cling to themselves. They do stupid things. They mess around with the wrong guy. They make stupid decisions at work financially. They steal, they cheat, they destroy. What you're responsible to do is 2 things. Wait and to run away from stupid things. Stupid people, stupid men, stupid women, stupid decisions. I don't mean to say that you're stupid. I don't like that word. But you know what I mean, right? We got to talk honest. We can't be waiting on God and hanging on to stupid people and making stupid decisions and texting the wrong people and getting in bed with the wrong guy. You can't be an idiot and trust God at the same time, because when you are in the miry clay, look at verse 2, he brought me up out of the pit of destruction. Have you ever felt like you're in the pit? A lot of times because you make dumb decisions, right? I do that too. I've been at times when the reason why I'm in that mess is because I made a stupid decision, because I like the miry clay. Some people just love the mud. Have you ever met someone who likes the mud? They just like to hang out in the mess of their lives or of their past. Emotionally, they just make the same mistake over and over again. Oh, it's because I'm alone. I'm lonely. I don't have any money. I want to I want someone to take care of my kids. I want to have a bigger house. I want to make more money. So you make the same dumb mistakes. And that's why you can't get ahead, because God can't lift you up, but you're hanging on to the past, right? You ever try to pick up a child that's hanging on to like someone's leg? You know, like when you want to go home and the kids at church still hanging on to somebody. They scream and yell, right? You have to like just yank them out because that kid is hanging on to the past. Same thing with us. We're hanging on to our stupid stuff. Our things, our emotions, our habits, our bad decisions. And so we can't get out of the mud. Look at what happens, verse 2. He brought me up out of the pit, and he set my feet where? Higher, on a rock. God wants you to go higher, up on a rock, making what? My footsteps firm. You want to be firm? You want to make right decisions? You have to let God bring you out of the mess. You have to wait. You have to help him too. You have to stop hanging on to your baby daddy and your baby mommy and your old job and your stupid decisions and your eating habits and your emotional constipation. You have to get rid of all that stuff and let God drag you up. And then what will he do? He sets your feet upon a rock, and then what? He puts a song in your mouth. You know why people don't sing? Because their lives are a mess. You can't sing when you are in the mud. You can't sing if you're drowning, right? You can't eat. What is it? You can't chew and walk at the same time. What's that saying? You can't sing and drown at the same time. Have you ever tried to yawn and talk at the same time? It's impossible. Or sneeze and talk. You can't. And yet a lot of people, they're like, well, I don't know why God doesn't help me. It's because you are drowning in your own mess. Emotional mess, physical mess, financial mess, in your own relational mess. You can't hang on to the mess of the past and expect God to bring you into the greatness of the future. Write that down, tweet that, Snapchat that, whatever. It says, he put a new song in my mouth, a song of praise. Many will see and fear. People say, how come nobody follows me, or I'm not a good example to my kids? Because your life is a mess. Because you're not hanging on to God, because you're drowning in your past. You're drowning in your sorrows. You're drowning in your debt. You're drowning in your complaining. Have you noticed how many people are complainers? I don't care about Christians or not, just people. Because they are not letting God bring them up into a new place. That's why they don't sing. That's why they don't have any deliverance or victory in their lives, because they continue to let the mess of this world drown their lives. And that's what happens. That's what he says. So back to that other passage that I love so much. Psalm 40. Let me just go back to Isaiah 46. No, Isaiah 40, actually. Isaiah 40. Let me just read that again. Isaiah 40. Boom. There it is. Let me see. Actually, let me show it to you here on the screen. Let me see if I can do that. Isaiah 40. There. Look at that. Comfort, okay? Then at the end, what does it say? Those that wait on the Lord. Where am I? Way below. Let me see if I can show that to you. Way at the bottom. He gives strength to the weary. Verse 29. He gives strength. He gives might. Those that grow weary, they will become strong. Those that wait will gain new strength. They will mount up. They will fly, run, and walk. Remember the 3 levels? The 3 levels are: you first have to walk, then you run, then you fly. Where do you want to be? Here's my question. Where do you want to be this month, this year? Do you want to stop walking? Are you tired of walking? Meaning you're still like a 3-year-old? I don't know when my kids begin to run. I don't know when that happens. What, first grade, when they have to run in school? I guess, right? When they're 5, 6, 7, 8. Have you ever seen an 8-year-old run? I mean, 8-year-old, a 3-month-old run? No, it's impossible, right? They're babies. They can't even get up, stand up. Have you ever seen an older person, like 90, fly? Meaning like they're just running sprints? No, of course not, right? Once your body hits, I don't know, a certain age, you can't even walk to the bathroom. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? There are levels to waiting. God wants you to rise. God wants you to move up, to have victory in your life, to stop being like a baby who's constantly falling. The reason why so many people fall is because they go back. They don't let God take them out of the mess. So here's my question. In what area are you not flying? Because you're not letting God, because you're not waiting, because you're not trusting. In what area of your life are you taking matters into your own hand, emotionally, physically, relationally, financially? In what area of your life are you saying, I'm tired of waiting, forget it? This is not a hard question to ask, right? We all know something. I hope something's coming to mind when I ask that question, that you're saying, yep, I'm not waiting. I'm not being patient. It's the same old stuff with your husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, with your money, with your career, with your family. I mean, come on. Those are the things that everyone deals with, right? Maybe in your body, relationally, financially, with your health, whatever it may be, right? The same old things. You're afraid, you're anxious, you're fearing something, you don't want to take a risk. Maybe you're supposed to quit your job, but you don't want to because of this and that. You're not rising. You're staying at the same level. Maybe it's in your area, in your career, right? A lot of people, they get stuck in their same career, making the same $100 every week or whatever, wherever you live, whatever you make, same $1,000 a month. And you don't rise like the eagle because you're just living in the fear of what you're not, who you're not. You're this, you're too old, you're too young, you're too black, you're too dark, you're too white, you're too fat, you're too thin. You're all those things that block you from rising like the eagle. What God wants is for you to rise and fly like the eagle in whatever area you're supposed to, financially, spiritually, physically, in health, in the way you view life, in your relationships. In what area are you not waiting because you're done? For me, it's easy. It's success. I hate waiting on success, but I know that God, like, what is it saying? The early bird catches the worm, right? Something like that. That's more about rising early and being first. But there's the other saying about the turtle wins the battle or something, and the hare, the rabbit loses. Basically, you have to walk like a freaking turtle to win at life. And those of us that are high achievers and are impatient people, we have a hard time. But at the same time, God made us the way he made us so we can accomplish great things. But you have to wait. And again, remember, like Rochelle, my wife, says, waiting is not wasting. We think waiting is wasting time. Waiting is trusting. Waiting is patience. Waiting is active. Waiting is trusting. Waiting is trusting. Not waiting is wasting. That's what I think. Waiting is wasting time, right? Maybe you got to switch the kind of waiting that you're doing. Maybe that's why it's not working, because you think you're wasting. Instead, you're actually trusting. Don't put your trust upon your waiting or upon your action. Put your trust in God for the timing, for the way you're supposed to do things, for when things are supposed to work out, for the timing for your financial future, for your situation at work, for your marriage, for your relationships, for your health, for whatever, your parents, your mom, the way things are working in the house, the way things are working at work. Things aren't right. You don't like your boss, or your position is not where you want it to be. You're making crap money. You can't just simply wait on yourself, is what most people do. The way that people normally wait, I mean, just think of people in line, right? Or just in traffic. That's easier. What do people do when they're waiting in traffic? Some are what? Hating life, honking and hating and cussing and giving you the bird, right? Some people do that in their lives. Other people, they're just like fall asleep. They're on their phones, right? The light turns green. Everyone's like, because they're just lazy bums. They're procrastinating. They're just letting life happen to them. What do other people do? They're waiting for the lights. They're ready. They have their hand on the steering wheel. They're focused on the light. They're waiting and trusting. Which one are you? Are you the mad person? Are you the person just on your phone? Or are you waiting for the light to turn green? Ready to go. You have to ask yourself, in what area are you wasting time? In what area do you need to trust God? In which kind of waiting? For me, it's easy. I need to be more patient. Maybe for you, what is it? Do you need to be more active? You need to actually get moving. Some people wait. It's called laziness. That's not waiting. It's called laziness. That's not waiting. It's called procrastination. It's called laziness. That's called being on your phone and the light is green. What are people going to do? Everyone's going to honk at you, right? You know those people I'm talking about, right? Everyone's mad at you because they see what you could do with your life. That's how you might think about your kids, your friends, your family. You're like, what's wrong with you? You have all these gifts and talents. You're wasting your life away. Maybe you can be an example to somebody else. That's what I love about Psalm 40. At the end of when God lifts you up out of that miry clay and puts you firmly on that rock, what does it say? Everyone will see and fear and trust in the Lord. Everyone will see what you're doing with your life and think, that's unique. That's different how that person's handling their stress, their mess at home, their bankruptcy, their divorce, the fact that they don't have a man in the house, the fact that they don't have a job and they're unemployed and they're homeless, basically. That's interesting how they're handling their lives. When you act differently, when you're not the person just honking and hating people because they're not moving or because you're so mad, when you actually wait patiently for God. I'm not talking about laziness. I'm talking about trust. I'm talking about having a different perspective everyone notices. I'm not talking about, ooh, they must be Christians. Okay, that's silliness. You know that thing people used to say, oh, they'll know that you're a churchgoer because you have a Bible. People could care less about you in church. In fact, the more you go to church, the more stupid people think you are, right? I'm talking about. But if they notice that you have a different perspective about the messes of life, then they're like, huh, okay, that's interesting. That's not normal. That's what it means in Psalm 40, where it says, everyone will see and fear and trust in the Lord. Well, thanks so much, guys. Share this. I hope this has helped you. Remember, ask yourself a question. Where do you need to wait? Where do you need to trust? Share this. Tell everybody about this. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. or 12 noon, más o menos, English and Spanish, más o menos, whatever I feel like, that's what I do. I'm supposed to do Spanish on Fridays, so that's what I'm going to try to do. Because it's, I have a lot of people, especially back home from all you Nicaraguenses. Español. Dude, please, okay? Like, I can't just do Spanish. Excuse me. But I know that I have an audience, even here in the U.S. I have people that are only Spanish speakers, so I try to do both. I like both. I don't mind. If you want to watch my show, I have a call-in show. So you call in. So I don't just talk and give you some message. That's what people like. I do that once in a while, but I have a call-in phone, a call-in show. Because really what I want to do is help you. I don't want to just talk. What's the point of that? And have one person, my sister or my mom, watching me. Okay, like seriously, what's the point of that? I don't care about that. I mean, I love my family, but I want to help people. So I have a call-in show, excuse me. So you can call in through Facebook, Snapchat, or the number at the bottom of the screen, toll-free 855, or maybe I'll get WhatsApp or something. I don't know. Can you call people to the U.S. from back home through WhatsApp, or obviously through Facebook, right? You can just press the phone. So that's probably the easiest way, Facebook, because, everyone's here. But if you are on YouTube, on Instagram, on Periscope, I'm on all these places, you can also call. Just go to my Facebook page and just call from there. Or just dial the number at the bottom of the screen. And I literally, where's my phone? Right here. It will ring on this phone right here. And then I'll put you on speaker and then we'll talk. I want to help you with your actual life. I don't want to just talk and be some talking head. I don't really care about that. That's why I have church, I would rather here engage because, by the way, the only way, as you know, that Facebook will even show videos anymore is if there are comments and engagement. You know how I never have comments because nobody ever watches this? Not because it's not good, but just because normally I'm a talking head and people just watch. Facebook hates that now. They're not going to show my videos or anyone's videos unless people comment. And the only way that people comment is if there is engagement, meaning I'm asking questions and you're answering, or you know what I mean. You're asking and I'm answering. So it's going to be a call-in show. I'm switching the whole, I don't know, theme of this show. It's not going to be just simply me talking, which is a waste of my time. Really is. I know it helps 1, 2, 3 people, but it's a waste of my time and really a waste of my resources. So what I'm going to do is switch the whole theme or purpose of this show to a call-in show. So I'm going to have phones here, WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, my phone, toll-free, so you can actually call in. And I already have a few people that are like, oh, yeah, I need help with this. I need help with that. Great. Call me. Starting Monday, I'm going to switch the whole theme of this show from me just talking and you're like, oh, that's so inspiring. Oh, his songs. I'll do that once in a while, but, that's not really helping my show grow, especially as I said now that everything has changed. So I'm going to get WhatsApp, and then maybe you can help me, sis, with how to actually get people to follow me or whatever, however that works. I imagine it's just like texting, right? You get people's numbers and people's WhatsApp so they can call me through WhatsApp. So we'll do that starting Monday. I don't know. I'll probably do it in the mornings and the evenings, when people are home, so they can actually call. Because my audience, some of them work, some of them don't. About half of the people that I connect with here, they don't have jobs, so they're at home or whatever. So that's why I don't always come on at night. Plus, at night, like you see, there's nobody here, just one person. So it's not even about the time. It's more about engaging. And really, it's about the content of this show. No more just me talking and, oh, it's such a good message. Go to church. Type in Joel Osteen and listen to him. This is going to be about a engaging show. Call in. If you don't have a question, then just listen to other people. But if no one calls, I'm going to hang up and just not talk. That's what I'm going to do. If nobody calls, I'm going to hang up. I'm going to wait for maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Nobody calls, I'm not going to give you a message anymore. Because again, I have to make use of my time. And plus, as I said, it's really Facebook is changing their rules. They're not showing this to anyone. Any video that has no views. Actually, they don't even care about views. It's all about the engagement. They want people to talk. So let your friends know. Starting on Monday, we're switching the whole purpose of this show to a live call-in show. So you can call in with your question and I can help you live. Okay, thanks again, guys. I'll see you next time. Adios.